Breaking news!
Hello, Rancho Mirage Rattlers. This is Weatherman Jose Antonio Garcia Sandoval speaking today, and it seems to be slightly rainy, and I'm going to present to you the average highest temperature for all 365 days in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world for the year of 2022. So I collected the data, and we found that the distribution of average high temperatures in Fahrenheit in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world based on Rapid City, South Dakota 2022 for 365 days is slightly skewed left, unimodal at 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit with no outliers by Tukey's rule and also with no apparent gaps. For Tukey's rule, we got a Q3 of 64.95 degrees Fahrenheit, then we subtracted it by a Q1 of 30.15 degrees Fahrenheit, which gave me 34.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is my IQR. I then multiplied my IQR by 1.5 to get K. My K was equal to 52.5 degrees Fahrenheit. I then finally subtracted Q1 minus K, then added Q3 plus K to get my interval of negative 22.35 degrees Fahrenheit and 117.45 degrees Fahrenheit, which we then compared to the histogram and found that no data exceeded nor went below this point, thus we have no outliers by Tukey's rule. I also found that the distribution of average highest temperatures in Fahrenheit in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world, based off Rapid City, South Dakota for 365 days, has a center of 45.6 degrees Fahrenheit and a spread of 34.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I then ran an SRS and numbered off the days 1 to 365, then using a random digit generator such as ranint 1, 365, I randomly selected 30 days, ignoring repeats, then I recorded what date was selected, and then the average highest temperature in degrees Fahrenheit for that day. Once I selected 30 random days and recorded the average highest temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, I added them all together and divided by 30 to get the average highest temperature in degrees Fahrenheit in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world in 2022. After completing this SRS, we discovered that Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world have an average highest temperature of 41.99 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, I ran a one sample t interval and got a confidence interval of 43.78 degrees Fahrenheit and 48.215 degrees Fahrenheit. My checks for inference were confirmed, and I ran a one sample t interval. The following checks are independence, randomization, 10%, and my NPP. For independence, yes, one day's highest average weather should not affect the others. Randomization, yes, we ran an SRS so the 30 days were randomly selected. 10%, yes, there are at least 300 days in a year. And for my NPP, yes, since my data is greater than or equal to 30, my NPP is confirmed. And since all my checks for inference are completed, I can run the one sample t interval. And I figured out that I am 95% confident that the true population mean of the highest average temperature in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world is between 43.78 degrees Fahrenheit and 48.215 degrees Fahrenheit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Yes, I have a question. So I was wondering if Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world had a higher or lower temperature average compared to the historical average of other Minecraft worlds. Great question, Mr. Skeleton. Let's see. So to find the historical average of Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world, I added up all the highest average temperatures of each month of the year in 2022. To get 494.49 degrees Fahrenheit, I then divided by that number by 12 to get 41.2 degrees Fahrenheit as the historical average. And if you have any questions about like how I got the number 12, it was just because there are 12 months in a year, and for the 494.49, I just added up all the highest average temperatures of each month. So since 41.2 degrees Fahrenheit is not contained in my confidence interval of 43.78 degrees Fahrenheit and 48.215 degrees Fahrenheit, there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the true population mean of highest average temperature in Brianna and Jose's world is less than the historical average of other Minecraft worlds. So back to your question, that would mean that Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world had a lower temperature compared to the historical average of other Minecraft worlds. Thank you for your question, and this will conclude our weather portion. Now I hope you enjoyed. Now back to the station with our news anchor, Brianna Solis. Alright, first up we have Milo. This little piggy is the fastest in the West. Next up we have Greenham Sam. He likes to rhyme. Next up we have Pork Chop. He's a bruiser, this one. He really likes to fight. Tough competitor. And finally, at last, we have our first bimodal pig, Robert. Alright, piggies, once you're ready, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. We have Greenham Sam and Pork Chop in the great lead. Robert's falling behind, he's catching up, and we have Robert first place. Second place finish for Greenham Sam, and third place we have Pork Chop. Way to go, piggies. Let's get a review, a little slow-mo action. Let's see here. So the race is starting. Fences are down, they're running, they're running, they're running. Wow, what a close race, everybody. Look at him. Look at that final stride for Robert. Beautiful, beautiful stride. Now let's hit him with the post-game interview. Robert, my man, congratulations. You won the 5th annual pig racing competition. How are you feeling, man? Hello, fellow Rattlers. It is Sandoval Garcia Antonio Jose with you today, and I am going to be running a chi-squared goodness of fit test on the distribution of weapons or methods of murder used to kill a Minecrafter. So first up, I asked a viewer what they think the leading cause of death is, and they responded with a sword. So I asked them to come up with reasonable deaths for categories up to 100 of swords, a bow, explosion, pushed into lava, and mauled by dogs. So I told him that 100 is what the numbers need to add up to, and he claims that 46 of them will succumb to swords, 23 would die to a bow, 7 of them would succumb to an explosion, 12 would be murdered by being pushed into lava, and that 11 would be mauled by dogs. So I took this data and I ran a systematic random sample on 100 people who have died and respawned, and we pulled every 10th death in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world and asked what weapon was used to kill them. The options were sword, a bow, an explosion, pushed into lava, and mauled by dogs. So we took his expected values of 46 dying to a sword, 23 to a bow, 7 to explosion, 13 pushed into lava, and 11 mauled by dogs, and we got our observed values from the systematic random sample, and in reality, we had 27 dying by swords, 21 dying by bows, 3 dying to an explosion, 39 being pushed into lava, and 10 mauled by dogs. We then made a hoe and a ha. Our hoe was the distribution of deaths caused by swords is the same as the distribution of deaths caused by other weapons. Our ha was the distribution of deaths caused by swords is different than the distribution of deaths caused by other weapons. For our checks, we have independence, 10% randomization, and our ECFs. For independence, yes, one Minecrafter's cause of death has no effect on another cause of death. 10%, yes, there are at least 1,000 Minecrafters. Randomization, yes. Since we did run a systematic random sample on 100 people, it is random. And for our ECFs, they were all greater or equal to 5, so all our checks are confirmed and we can run the chi-square test for goodness of fit with degrees of freedom 4. So we ran the test and got a very low p-value. Therefore, since my p-value of 0.00000000009083 is lower than my significance level of alpha equals 0.05, I will reject my null, meaning there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the distribution of deaths caused by swords is different than the distribution of deaths caused by other weapons. Therefore, we can determine that swords are not the highest leading cause of death of Minecrafters in Brianna and Jose's world. Hope you all learned something new. Now we will go on to Darth Vader to explain why being pushed into lava has the highest number of deaths in Brianna and Jose's Minecraft world. Hello everyone, Sandoval Garcia Antonio Jose back again, and I asked Darth Vader why he thinks the distribution of deaths is higher for people pushed into lava, and he says he believes that since they are being pushed into lava, their items also disappear, so when they are pushed into lava, it also destroys the evidence, making it way easier for them to hide the body. Pretty crazy to see how serial killers really think. Anyways, back to Brianna in the studio.